Section 1.2 Database Designing Principle. 1.2.1 Introduction to MS Access. MS Access is a database management tool that enables one to store retrieval data. This also has the capabilities to retrieve, store, summarize, and report results immediately and effectively. It can combine data from various file tables through creating relationships. Microsoft Access (MS Access) enables one to manage all important information from a single database file. Within the file, one can use the different object tables store your data in your database. Queries ask questions about information stored in your tables. Forms. Form is a type of database object that is primarily used to enter or display data in a database. Reports allow you to print data based on queries or tables that you have created. Basic database concept. In studying MS Access, it is but necessary to understand some basic elements of a database before proceeding to its database elements. Data are raw facts. It tells the truth about something, a person, a place, an object. It is example name Girma. Girma is a data. Girma is my name. So it tells something about a person. Girma is a Girma male. Male is Girma gender. So it tells something about Girma. Information is a collection of data facts which is contained in one file. Table and access. Example ID student 001. First name Girma. Last name Abebe. Gender male. Birth date 11/05/1978. Address Bishop 2 of a title. This is information about a person named Girma. Example of title file. ID number. First name, last name, gender, birth date, address. You enter this all. Name, gender, birth date. Naming convention. It is manner of naming file and variables. Having a poor naming convention can only add confusion. So it's important that you understand with a good chair and think about what the saying will mean to you. Here are the three things you consider in establishing a name convention. 1. Does my convention make sense to me? Must be simply and understandably to you. 2. Will my convention make sense to other people? Time will come that other people will look into your database program, so they must able to understand it. 3. Can I be consistent in implementing and enforcing my convention all throughout my database work? Your naming convention must not change. Section 1.2.2 Database Designing Principle. Usability. Any information which we are storing in my organization should be meaningful for the organization. If you are storing those factories which are actually not fit with organization requirement, then this is just waste of resource. Extensibility. As we know that every day new business requirements came up, and every day there is a need to change or enhance information system to capture new requirements. So information design should be extensible so that it can adopt new requirements without much enforced or without major breaking change. Data interrogate. Now at this point we understand that information is very much important for any organization. Based on the historical information, every organization make different strategy decision for growth. One small mistake in a data can lead to major issue with any organizing key decision enhance a big risk for growth. Entity integrity involves the structure, primary key, and institution of the entity. If the primary key is unique and all attributes are scalar and fully depend on the primary key, then the integrity of the entity is good. In the physical scheme, the table primary key enforces entity integrity. Domain integrity, it defines that data should be of correct type and we should handle optional data in correct way. We should apply nullability to those attributes which are optional for organization. We can define proper data type for different attributes based on organization requirement so that correct format data should present in system. Referential integrity, the defense if any entity is depend on another one, then parent entity should be there in the system and should be uniquely indefensibility. We can do this by implementing foreign key. User defined integrity. There are few business rules which we cannot validate just by primary key, foreign key. It is there has to be some mechanism so that we can validate complex rule for integrity. We can implement the rule in following ways. Preforms, as we know that information should be readily available as requested. Performance of the system should be up to the mark as data in increasing day by day, so at the same time there will be impact on performance. If database design is poor, we will not take any action to implement performance. Availability. The availability of information refers to the information accessibility when required regarding uptime, location, and the availability of the data for future analysis. Disaster recovery, redundancy, archiving, and network delivery of affect available. Security. For any organizational asset, the level of security must be secure depending on its value and sensitivity. Sometimes organizations have suffered a lot because of data leaks, which result in loss of faith and tend to business risk. So security is one of the most important aspects of good database design. Section 1.2.c design process. Determine the process of your database. This help prove your for the remaining step. Find and organize the information request. Gather all of the type of information you may to record in the database, such as product name and other name. The information into table. Divide your information item into major entity or subject, such as product or orders. Each subject then became a table. The turn information item into column. Decide what information you want to store in each table. Each item became a file and is displayed as a column in the table. For example, an employee table may include fields such as last name and her data. Specify primary key. Choose each table primary key. The primary key is a column that is used to uniquely identify each row. An example may be produced ID or order ID. Set up the table relationship. Look at each table and decide how the data in one table is related to the data in another table. Add field to table or create new table to classify the relationship as necessary. Verify your design. Analyze your design for errors. Correct the table and add a few record of simple data. See if you can get the result you want for your table. Make adjustment to the design as needed. Apply the normalization rule. Apply the data normalization rule to see if you table are structured correctly. Make adjustment to the table as needed.